Welcome everybody back to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're racing this 2018's Saleen S1 in S1 class. So yeah, this is easily one of my favourite sports cars and supercars, kind of on the borderline between the two of them, to be honest. And yeah, I've given it hefty upgrades, but the headline figure is now this has 660 horsepower, which is 210 more than it had originally, which is quite a substantial amount. So yeah, and yeah, I know this is the first online race video that I've done on this game in S1 class. You see a lot different in terms of the general speed and acceleration that you can get up to compared to A or B class, but it's still pretty basic in some respects. You know, you can't go the full whole hog on in terms of upgrades. Not, for instance, completely reduce the weight in this, although it still only weighs 2,497 pounds, which is hardly a lot. But it does have slick tyres, and they are wider at the front and rear. Yeah, 660 horsepower, all out of a 2.6 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine. Easily one of the smallest mid-engine vehicles on this game, especially in terms of, you know, modern vehicles that are even in stock form quite quick. Yeah, this can now get to 204 miles an hour, so yeah, certainly no slouch nowadays with the amount of upgrades I've given it. At the end of the day, it's still got that small engine, slightly bigger than it was originally by 100cc, but still well below the kind of size of engines that you will see on these races typically. I think there's a Ford GT in third place, which has twice the cylinders and more than twice the cubic capacity, so yeah. This is light, this is nimble, it's got a bit of understeer at times, but nothing too serious, certainly not in the same kind of realm as, say, an all-wheel drive car that is shoving a lot of power through the front, because this is still rear-wheel drive. So yeah, dynamically this is a very good car, and yeah, as you saw there, got a nice round second place. So yeah, so to go along with that 660 horsepower, we have 611 pounds-feet of torque, so it's a very torquey engine. It punches its way out of the corners. Obviously it would be even punchier out of the corners if it had all-wheel drive, but still, it's really rather gutsy out of the corners, and obviously that amount of torque also helps when it comes to any uphill sections. This isn't my first time racing this car online, because I did try this video yesterday, but for whatever reason the sound failed. So yeah, but still, it is a cracking car to drive, and one that I really rather enjoy driving, because like I said, even in stock form this is one of my favourites. Bit of a shame that it's, you know, kind of come and gone in terms of automotive, you know, circles, because yeah, I don't think they've made very many. They were planning on around 1,500 per year, but I don't think they've made anywhere near that amount even in the 5 years since it's been announced. So yeah, which is a great shame. I imagine the small engine in this is what put people off, because at the end of the day they expect that from, you know, more lower end sports cars, like say the Alfa Romeo 4C or an Alpine. So yeah, certainly don't expect that size of engine in a car at the end of the day that does look like a supercar, does look like your modern Ferraris or McLarens. But I like that about it. I like the fact that it's got such a small engine, because it means it's not only economical to go along with the lightweight, how light it weighs, but also, you know, it means it's not taking up much room, it's not taking up much weight, and yeah, it means dynamically it's really rather quite planted. You don't have a big heavy engine in the middle acting like a pendulum at times. Sure, it still sticks its tail out when it wants to, but not as badly as you might expect. properly quick as well. Sure, I could have given this more in the way of aerodynamic properties. Could have, big rear wing on it or anything like that, but I do like my cars looking as stock as possible. It's something I prefer in driving cars. Gutsy car though out of the corners. Also gave it a race transmission to help it off the line, because the launch in this, especially with the amount of power I was giving it, wasn't the best. So yeah, not giving this car the best of showings. The video that failed because of technical reasons. I did get 2 wins and a 2nd place, so yeah. And we did have a 2nd place in the first race, but yeah, a last place position there. Not the best of showings, so yeah. But trust me when I say that this car is a cracking car to drive. So yeah, before we get into the 3rd race, it's going to do 0 to 60 in 3.228 seconds. 0 to 107.107 seconds, like I said earlier, it can do 204 miles an hour. And the guy that won apparently has decided not to take the podium. The game must have crashed or something, but yeah, properly quick in terms of acceleration. Yeah, it's probably not the quickest car that you could use in this class at the top end, but 204 miles an hour is hardly a weak top speed, and yeah. At the end of the day, most races you're never going to get to that kind of speed anyway. So yeah, the top speed at the end of the day wasn't prioritised. So yeah, let's see what we can do on this one-on-one race, and then we'll do a few more after this, because we haven't really had much in the way of competition really. Very depleted in terms of the amount of people in these lobbies. Sliding. It definitely does lose grip when it wants sometimes. I think it's because it does have such sticky tyres and such race suspension and all of that. Like you know, you push it too hard and it will slide. And this isn't a car that likes to drift either. So yeah, once that grip's gone, it's pretty much gone. So you have to be on your guard. Certainly not going to keep up with that Dodge with its probably equally as powerful engine and all its aerodynamic properties. Hopefully we can show off this car in terms of some hot lapping. It's clean air, so we don't have to worry about anyone in front of us or behind us. Again, like I've said with previous vehicles that we've used on these videos, I'm sure you could make this a better car than I've made it. But I'm overall happy with the build that I've got here. No doubt though that that dodge is formidable. Didn't have a hope in hell of keeping up with that dodge. It's definitely been put on the handling focus kind of thing. So yeah, like I said, we'll do a few more in this car because I don't think we've really had much in the way of any real races outside of the first race. So yeah, let's see what we can do in the next few races. See if we can get in a more populated lobby. So yeah, see you when we get there. So yeah, these are the stats on the car that I couldn't show you because obviously we got thrown right into a race at the beginning. So yeah, only really let down in terms of the stats is the speed. So yeah, but the handling and the braking are excellent. Brakes are so good because I put race brakes on it and it doesn't weigh all that much. And yeah, the launch and the acceleration and pretty good as well. And yeah, that's the other stats as well. So yeah, really do like this car. I wish Saleen could make more like this or improve on something like this, because yeah, they really have a winning formula with the small but powerful engine and lack of weight and yeah, mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout that we're going on. Are we in a more populated lobby? No, we are not. Hopefully the Centenario is a bit more of an even challenge for us. It'll have the launch, but it might have more understeer through those corners because of the wheel drive system. That'll only be good for the corners that are fast in terms of speed. It's definitely got more power than us though, because even in stock form it has more power than we have right now. S1 class lobbies seem to be a lot less populated than A class or B class. Even in the video where I had some more success, I don't think we had any more than 6 or 7 people in there, so... definitely more of a match for this Lamborghini than that Dodge. They definitely have the grip where it counts. We do seem to gain on them in straight line speed, despite them having more power than us. probably doesn't even hear my car over that V12 bellow. Coming through right at the final moment. Oh dear. Yes. Right at the end. Final, I think second to last lap. Second to last corner. Right at the end. Just got round. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how that went, and look at the lap times as well, which just shows how close it was between us. I only had 0.2 of a second over the Lamborghini, which, like I said, does have more power than us. Even stock form, I think it has 40 extra horsepower, so like that. So yeah, but it might have less torque. V12 natural aspirated engines generally don't have the greatest amount of torque, so yeah, really pleased with how that went. That was definitely a far better race than the two prior to that. So let's see if the second race, well, fifth race can live up to that. Depends whether or not we're on our own again or not. But either way, I hope that race alone just shows what this car is capable of, even in my just about average racing hands. So yeah. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. See why some people might be disappointed with this Saleen, considering, you know, Saleen have done the S7, which had a massive V8 engine in it. And then obviously they did the S5S Raptor, which was I think a concept car. Again, had a V8 engine, but that was supercharged. Had one of the best sounding superchargers going, so I can see why some people would be disappointed with this 4-cylinder, you know, stock 2.5 litre engine, turbocharged, not the best sounding engine going. But it delivers the power where it's necessary, and certainly is capable when it comes to the handling and braking. So yeah, I'm not disappointed. Change is sometimes necessary at the end of the day. This car has amazing brakes. Upgraded it. Nissan is lagging around. Very much lagging around. Yeah, you predicted the crash, but it predicted it after the fact. And that Lamborghini's bugged out. So, you see what I mean about these S1 class lobbies? They're very underpopulated. When you finally do find it's more than 2 people, or more than 1 person, they bug out, and then you're left with someone that's lagging all over the place. Momentary lapse of concentration there. Yeah, this car's not as good here as it was on the other track. Definitely prefers this more wide and sweeping circuit. Understeer there. Yeah, like I said, it's not flaw free. Like I said earlier, it does have its understeer issues at times. The brakes are so good that you might feel a little bit dependent on them at times. I've never been good at this track anyway, so when I'm in a car that has understeer issues and I don't have a huge amount of time behind. Yeah, again, like I said, when it comes to, you know, upgrading the car, I'm sure that people recommend not just upgrade the car better, but drive the car better as well. So, yeah, but, you know, a bit anticlimactic considering how enjoyable the previous race was. Especially since, again, it was only 1-on-1 for most of that. But hopefully the third race picks up. Please be more than one other person. Because we've never really had many issues filling up, well, or at least mostly filling up a lobby in previous classes that we've raced on. A class and B class have generally been quite populated, so yeah, no idea why S1 class isn't quite the same. Maybe people don't like the fact that, yes, it's faster than A class, but it's not as fast as S2 class, which is hilariously fast. So, yeah. Anybody else? It is a sprint. I think this car is better at sprints. Yay, there we go. So I've got a Nissan 280Z and a Nissan GTR and a Toyota Supra, so it's the American against 3 Japanese. Although that Supra isn't quite fully upgraded for some reason. Too tight there. And again. Oh dear. Oh, I hate that. Undercut the Toyota. Easily get past the Datsun, given us bearing off into the wall. Why do people quit out partway through a race? You may as well just finish it. Because even if you don't win, you're going to get experience, you're going to get credits. Even if you're not going to win, you can at least learn your car on this course, so you can do better at the next race. Well, that's me thinking this car didn't like to drift, and I just got any good drift with it for the first time. Usually it would have snapped oversteered there and spun out. Has done before on me when I've tried to drift it. Oh, I probably missed that, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. Thank God for that. GTR's beating us again, but I'm blaming me more than the car. well, not the best ending to one of these videos I've done, but that 4th race against the Centenario was more than enough to make up for the rest of the somewhat duds of a race. Plus the first race as well was pretty good as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this car. I certainly do, and if you've never driven it, then I do highly recommend doing so. It's a scorcher of a car. It's very underrated. You're rarely ever going to see anyone else driving one. I haven't on online races, so yeah, and I certainly haven't seen anyone racing in other online events either. So yeah, get out there and try it if you haven't, and if you have, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.